should probably use the microphone as well.
So can you hear me loud and clear? Yes? Okay, good. So hello everybody. So we are finally here in Tallinn in Estonia. I know a lot of you have expected that for a long time, so I hope we are not too disappointing now on that. So there are a lot of project partners here, there are stakeholders here, but there are also guests here from Estonia, from public authorities in Estonia, from the ministry, for example. And to sum it up, like what we are doing here and why we're sitting all here in that cozy room here, is that we have initiated and started and now running that for a year already, a project called Speed Up. And the aim of the Speed Up is to provide good practices, solutions, ideas, forum or discussion board that helps to initiate new innovations. And we are doing that on different levels, which are mostly focusing on incubation and acceleration programs. So we try to find out like what could be the perfect methods or good practices that can be used in different countries in order to boost innovation in early seed stage level. And today here in Tallinn, we are going to discuss about the collaboration between different parties. And the aim of that collaboration would be R&D activities. So we are discussing and presenting good practices that bring out the good examples that different countries have when it comes to encouraging the R&D activities. It's private public partnerships, it's collaboration with the universities, and so on. And today we're gonna hear 9 different good practices. But before we are going to get started with the presentations, I would like to give the floor to Jaak Raie, who is the head and manager of Tallinn Science Park Technopole, and Tallinn Science Park Technopole is the project partner in Speed Up, and we are very eager this time to be the host here. So big hand to Jaak.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. No, damn it. This is the busy Estonian life. Good morning once again, and we really do welcome you here in Tallinn. And on behalf of Science Park Technopole, we are glad to have you here because we would like to give, but at the same time we would like to get experiences at the same time to improve Estonia, to catch up some 50 years of time. What I would like to say today, and for these 2 days session here in Tallinn, first of all, we have organized a nice weather for you. This is not usually so. Of course it goes into the project budget, but that's fine. If you would like to find out how it was made, then ask Marette. Second of all, as we really here in Technopole and in Estonia do believe in real cooperation, then, and this is not just a word that, oh, let's cooperate, let's elaborate, la la la, shalala, then we really, and Martin and Maret will prove it, I hope, that we really do cooperate. We will give what we have. At the same time, I just say that please don't copy. Please don't copy. You copy mistakes as well then. But we will try to give as much as we can. And in this context, what Estonia has, and we would like to get some nice eyes and nice greetings afterwards. But, and for the second, we are open. We are really open in Technopole, and our strategy says so. Otherwise, if we are not open, then we will die here. Very simple. Because this openness enriches us to go further with our nation, with our economy. It gives us new ideas, and within this respect, we also very glad to have you here. Here I just once again give you into hands of Martin and Maret. They are two members of our incubation team, and I believe that these 2 days here in Tallinn will give you what Estonia has here. We have a little, but it's good. And we will meet in the evening. According to my calendar, there is an event in the evening, and we will see you there, and then we can get more closer with each other. So thank you once again, and I will give you into hands of Martin and Maret.
Yes, a little amendment. We only have 8 presentations today, so plenty of time for the questions and answers today. So I will describe the program after the coffee break more precisely, but I would like to initially say that the Q&A sessions, they are marked after the presentations and before the coffee break, but we can have that like after the presentations right away. So you don't need to wait like before the presentations are done and then go forward with the questions. But as today we have the home court advantage, then we're going to start with Estonian presentation, and I'm really glad to invite Anu Oks here to present the case of Mectory. They are the good neighbors of Tallinn Science Park Technopole, and they are the innovation unit of Tallinn University of Technology, which is one of the largest technical university in the region, in the Baltics, I guess? Yep. So, and Anu is going to describe the case of Mectory, which is the innovation center, and she's going to tell more about what they are doing in the R&D areas, and you are very welcome to ask the questions after the presentation. So, the floor is yours.
And you're going to use the microphone as well.
Okay. There are 2. Which one should I choose? Okay, good morning everybody. I'm really happy to welcome you here in Tallinn and be the first presenter to welcome you and to talk about innovation in Tallinn. So basically, where does the innovation start? From university, perhaps, maybe? So anyways, a few words about Tallinn University of Technology, which is the one and only technology university in Estonia. At the same time, it's the 2nd biggest university in Estonia as a whole. And as well, not only about the university, but as Martin told, about our innovation and business center, Mectory. I'm going to tell you our story. It's rather short, as we were opened in 2013 November, so we don't have a long history, but hopefully there's something to tell you and some good examples as well. So a few words about our numbers. I don't know, the slides are quite small text, but I hope it's okay. So around 12,000 students, 4 faculties. We've gone down from 8 faculties in last year down to 4, so we did some restructuring in the university. We are quite international university, so 1/3 of our study programs are in English, and that takes us to this big number of international students. So Estonia is small, that's why we need a lot of internationalization as well as a lot of international students. We have a lot of partner universities all over Europe, as well all over the world. A lot of Japanese universities, US universities partner with us. We're trying to reach or trying to keep this 6.2% of universities' revenue from R&D projects or a cooperation with companies. Quite a small number. You can ask me why, but yeah, we're trying to keep this up. I don't know. Just a question: how many of you are from the universities in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay. So I know who to speak with. Anyways, our Innovation and Business Center, Mektori, is like a gathering place. It's not only a place for R&D cooperation or a place where scientists and companies come together, but more like a get-together place for all ages, age groups, for kids from 5 years old up to 90-year-old scientists in the university. And we're holding there a lot of companies, companies relations. Are those project relations or R&D projects or just cooperation or mentoring projects, and a lot of internationalization as well with 8 embassies at the moment. So as Martin told, we're partners of Science Park. So I don't know, does this work? Is there some kind of...
Yeah.
Keskele? Okay. Anyway, Science Park right next to us, and the Mektori over here. We are the only campus university in Estonia, so this is our big campus. Laboratories, faculties over here. One of the newest library or innovative library in Baltics, built for library, is within our university. Dormitories here. So you will come to Mektori tomorrow, right? So you will come to this building over here. You can see from the windows the Science Park Technopole. And what kind of services do we have? They're the fine points. Basically, we're basing on technology transfer as a whole, but all these other things are as much as important for us as well. Like Mektori plays as a networking venue. We rent out rooms. We have conferences and big events in Mektori. Popularizing engineering and science and innovation amongst youth. As I told, we start with kindergarten kids and go all the way up to high school kids. Not a usual way for a university to work with children. So this is one of our innovation or one of our novelty points as we have in Mektori. Also, we're building a really strong ecosystem for startups in Mektori. Going to tell you later. And also we have Education US Advising Center over there. I do not even know where to put the stress. There's so many things. As I told, technology transfer with the 6.2% of university revenue. We have projects, lab services, consultation service, etc. Like a usual technology transfer office. At the moment we have 4 technology transfer officers. So quite a small unit working on those projects, but in each faculty we have 1 special staff member to work on company and faculties cooperation. And one good example, as I'm told to tell about good examples of different programs that we have, then Ericsson is one of our first biggest cooperation partners worldwide, like an international cooperation partner. So we've done up to 5 projects in 10 years with Ericsson, and Ericsson is also a very good sponsor and partner for Mektori itself, providing a demo center and Wi-Fi and different gadgets in our center that you can see tomorrow. But also they're providing studies support as well, or internship programs, etc., etc. So we're trying to build not only R&D project with one company, but build like different or a system with a company. So all sorts of different activities, internship, competitions for school children as well as for students. So like a big system. This way we work with Samsung as well, with Mitsubishi Motors as well. So there are different ways. If you go to tour tomorrow, I don't know if you have a Mektori tour, then all over the world, all over the walls in Mektori there are different projects, so you can just see what kind of companies do we work with. Okay, moving on from technology transfer to our center. So I already quite told you those 5 main things that we work with. Technology transfer, making theoretical studies more practical, so we have different laboratories in Mektori. startup companies and startup programs that we have in Mektori, upcoming generation from small children up to high school, as well as internationalization is one big thing. With this slide, I hope that Maret and Martin will share you the slides afterwards, that I don't go very thoroughly through those numbers and points here. So you can just check it afterwards. But these are those 8 embassies that we have cooperation with in our center. Just last week we opened Suomi Sauna, or a Finnish sauna in Mektori in cooperation with Finnish embassy and as well Finnish companies. So we're trying not to keep Estonian companies but also international companies welcomed in the university. We have a space center as well, startup offices, prototyping laboratories, etc., etc. So if you come tomorrow, you will see. I'm not stopping on this. Student activities. We're trying to give some input in cooperation with companies into curriculums and also some startup programs into curriculums. Lecturers from companies and business model competitions that we provide for students. What else? Also, we take students in part of R&D projects. So we take them into the teams of making the project. So not only scientists are working with companies, but students as well. If you come tomorrow, you will see what kind of different laboratories we have, and also these labs are built in cooperation with companies. So we have a Samsung Digital Academy lab, Ericsson lab, but the newest labs are this virtual reality lab, and where can I see? Yeah, there is, in this very down, there is a heating lab, Utilitas. So anyways, you will see tomorrow, but the important is that all these labs are built in cooperation with companies. So public university working with companies, and they are popularizing their own topics, their own themes over there, showing out that their field is great and fun. You should go and study it in the university. So that's the main point of the company cooperation. So, startup programs. Oh, my time is running up. I'm talking too much.
No, we have plenty of time.
Plenty of time, great.
At least 5 minutes.
You know, I have 20 more slides, so yeah. But startup programs, this is my topic. I'm working with startups, providing them different programs. Basically, we start with children entrepreneurship courses that we take 2 counties. In Estonia, we have 15 counties, and with this year, which is going to be 3rd year of this Bright Minds Youth Startup Program, we're going to cover all those 15 counties, and we're taking startup courses into their schools, teaching them how to build a team, how to generate idea, how to market their product, how to get clients, etc. So we're starting with really small-aged kids to put them into entrepreneurial mindset, that they don't have a mindset that they will be working in a bank other than just making a company by themselves. And this is at the moment sponsored by one of our biggest bank, which is Swedbank, and it's a yearly program. So students are very, very welcome to join in November, and the finals where they pitch their ideas in front of jury is in April. So it's like half a year program, but it runs only once a year. Nevertheless, the pre-incubation program that is in the university or university-based runs twice a year. This is a 4-month workshops, courses, mentoring, trainings with entrepreneurs or with businesses for students. And this is at the moment financed by EU social funds as well, but the projects, as we know, will end someday, but we're trying to keep this pre-incubation up and running after the project ends. So why we brought this pre-incubation up is that we got to see that the students or the student teams are not ready to go to incubation or to accelerators yet. So they're quite usually turned down from the incubator, saying that not ready yet, go coach yourself, go build your product, go build your team. So that's what we're trying to do, to help them to build a team and build a product to be ready for incubation or accelerator services all over the world, basically, not only Technopol next door. Okay, and startup competitions. We've held competitions for 7 times. I think there has been over 200 business ideas coming through. Last year we had 60 ideas in the competition. And as a prize, we usually take them to Silicon Valley for a study or investor trip. In this startup competition, there are a lot of cooperation with companies as well. So companies come and provide their own services or their own special prizes. And this is, again, once a year. Next one is December 2017. And with those incubation activities, in Mectory, we don't have them very steady, as Technopol next door is providing very good incubation services with a huge mentoring package. So there we don't want to compete other than cooperate with Technopol as well and send our companies which come out from competition to Technopol. But also they have their own rooms in Mectory. They can use all the seminar rooms for free, come to our learning courses, whatever. So we have a bit incubation activities. So here's a small example of a startup that has grown out from Mectory, which is called Co-Module, formerly called Prismatory. Basically, they came in from different faculties. They were starting with Formula 1 cars. Then they got the mentoring and wrote a one-pager, participated in our startup competition, and now they're no, actually, a few years ago, they went to accelerator program in Germany, but which is great is that now they're cooperating with our university again, getting R&D projects done in the university or getting students on board to help them out with the projects or at least mentor our own startups. So the circle is full now. They're helping our own. So this shows that we are trying to build our alumni network as well with our companies. And just a slide that you can look over afterwards, but Forbes 30 has mentioned our startups as successful young entrepreneurs in under 30, so in their magazine last year. So that was a surprise for us that our small startups are mentioned already. But as I mentioned, that we're working with kids, so this is the slide to show what we're doing with the kids. Tons of things. We have a special unit in Mectory to work with kids called School of Technology of Mectory. And basically we're preparing upgrowing generation for building innovation, for seeing that technology and engineering is fun and easy. We have different courses, camps, summer, like longer summer camps as well. Also we're teaching and dealing with teachers, not only the children, so teachers are actually the key to make the innovation boost in the schools as well. Also, we show them around in university that they're feeling comfortable, feeling nice in the university. They don't have a block in their head that no, university is not for me. So they can see that it's okay to come. And also we teach them to bring their ideas to life. In Mectory we have a yes culture. Usually whoever comes with a crazy idea, we say yes. And with kids' ideas as well, we're trying to encourage them. Make your ideas alive. Come to Mectory, make your prototypes, whatever. Come with your dad or mom. That's okay. So this was the children activities. As I told, we have a lot of partners, and we have promised them that each time we talk about Mectory, we talk about them as well. So this is me talking about our partners around, or actually over 100 companies in Mectory, all sorts of different. Right now, just an example, half a slide is missing, but Hugi Foundation from US is working on startup accelerator program at this moment. So we're having an accelerator program like a 3-week bootcamp accelerator, some kind of thing. Right now the teams are in Tartu. Next week they will come to Tallinn to work with their ideas. We're providing them mentoring and coaches and trainings. And then we'll go to US to pitch in front of US investors. So it's like international startup, big university, and also a company cooperation project. Yes, some more companies, but here's my information. I don't actually have time to share my contact cards with you, but you will get my information afterwards.
Thank you.
Yeah, any questions? Happy to answer. Thank you, Martin, for having me here. It's a pleasure every time. Thank you very much.
Thanks. So we have a couple of questions. As Anu mentioned several times, you're going to visit the Mectory Center tomorrow as well, and you're going to have the site tour, and we're going to have the meeting there as well. But if you have like something specific to ask about the incubation startup programs or R&D activities, then go ahead.
Yeah, the cooperation connection with Technopol. How do you do it? Do you incubate the companies, and then when they are after a year or 2 years and they have the potential, they go to Technopol? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not actually very structured in our case. Usually Technopol is right like on the shoulder of mine. So if they see a company that is ready for incubation, they would say, "Oh no, okay, this company is ready now. We will take them." Or in the competition wise, they will come and choose what kind of companies are ready for incubation. And the companies that are not ready yet, these are okay for me. So I will say them, "Don't worry. Yeah, you will get there. Let's teach you, coach you." So it's a really easy cooperation between us. No structure and no like limits. So each time I have a question or the teams have questions, I send them, or I call Martin. Martin, would you please help this team, this and this and this, or would you provide them a small mentoring? And he usually says yes. I don't know how long it will last.
Yeah, I can elaborate on that as well a bit. Like what we find extremely important from our side in Science Park is that these programs, or what Mectory is doing, like Bright Minds or idea competitions, they basically take care of two major things. Like first of it, it's kind of giving the basic know-how to the students, like how to become an entrepreneur, or what it takes, or what kind of risks are there, or what to do. And another thing is team building. Like they help to get the initial team there. Probably they're like a group of students that maybe share the same vision, or they're like course mates or friends or something like that, but at least they already like have something. And the third part is definitely like the validation thing. Like if you apply to the accelerator and they are saying that okay, your idea sucks, that kind of gives you like a bad appearance on all of the system or the ecosystem. But what they are doing in Mectory, they are more or less testing out the concepts that they have. They have the opportunity to approach like private companies. They have the opportunity to use mentors who are saying something or giving the feedback, and they already have like some validation done. So it's almost like very good pipeline already for the accelerators and incubators. But yeah, the system is pretty flexible in that case.
Okay, anything else? No.
No. So
Thank you very much.
So we're gonna move on with the presentation, and the next one is going to be from Antwerp, city of Antwerp, and Take Off Antwerp and Marie Shooters. Yes. The floor is yours almost, and it's written here that you are going to use your own computer. So it takes a bit to block that.
No.
It's a Mac, so you never know what happens.
We already tried.
How is the correct way to pronounce it? The pronunciation of your family name?
Scooters.
Scooters. Okay. Because the Belgium and the names are a bit tricky for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
No worries.
So as you're going to use the microphones as well, then you are...
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maries Hoeters. I work for the City of Antwerp as a project manager on student entrepreneurship. And I have the pleasure to work with Georges Goffin, my colleague from the Antwerp University Association. And we will do this presentation with the two of us because this project is a cooperation between the City of Antwerp and the higher education institutes in Antwerp. So George will be here to support me. Take Off Antwerp is a project to stimulate student entrepreneurship in Antwerp. And last year we had some funding from the European funding, and that made it possible to elaborate even the cooperation and take us a level higher. And now these days we speak of Take Off Antwerp because the cooperation is enlarged a bit, but I will tell you some more in a few minutes about that. First, let me take you back to the beginning. Why did we start and how did we start the cooperation on this project? It was the Antwerp University Association who took the lead and decided that there should be a place, a venue where students could come to meet each other, student entrepreneurs, but also other students, to come and discover what entrepreneurship is all about. So they decided to install a place where students could meet up. At the same time, the City of Antwerp chose an economic policy which is very focused on supporting and stimulating startups in Antwerp. So it's since a couple of years, it's something that we really try to focus on, and we want to create an entrepreneurial environment, entrepreneurial-friendly environment for every company in Antwerp, but especially for the startups. And in particular, we decided to focus on student entrepreneurs because we saw that Antwerp had less graduates starting up their own business than other student cities in Europe. So we really thought it was time to do something about that. So that took us to 2014. These two decisions, strategic decisions on both parties, came together. So we tried to develop this co-working space for the students in Antwerp. And we launched our project named Take Off Antwerp in 2015, which was then defined as a cooperation on stimulating student entrepreneurship. And as I mentioned earlier, since last year with European funding, we managed to elaborate, and now we're talking of a project stimulating young entrepreneurship in the city overall. The launch in 2015, we wanted to create a place where students could come and fuel entrepreneurship. So discover it, ask some questions, what's it all about, things like that. So we want to inspire students who are not really taking up a business. We want to inform those who want to know more about it, and we want to support those who really want to start up their own business. And the City of Antwerp and the Antwerp University Association made a collaboration agreement on this, working together for the next couple of years. We only had a budget of 40,000 euros a year, which is not a lot, and we use it to organize some workshops or training sessions or events to stimulate this student entrepreneurship. And we were only doing this with 1.5 FTE. The main partners, as I said, the City of Antwerp, the higher education institutes in Antwerp, which is the University of Antwerp and the most important university colleges. And then we decided that the Chamber of Commerce should also be a partner in this cooperation, because they are the network where we can get in touch with existing companies and getting some coaching in. And then what we decided from the very beginning was that the students themselves should be involved in this project and should be part of the steering committee. So these four parties were part of this steering committee from the beginning. So it's quite a unique cooperation, these partners together. It was something new also, and then we decided that our cooperation should also have some unique characteristics. These are centered on coaching, on having contact with the active students, on interdisciplinarity, getting several students together, and being a learning network. So the coaching, as we do it today, is that the City of Antwerp provides one-on-one coaching for anyone in Antwerp who wants to start up a business, can come to the city and ask their questions. They will be helped and they will be supported and shown the way to the right organization at that time. We do this for the students every week. We are in Take Off Antwerp and we talk with students who want to start up. It's free and it's neutral advice, and they can come by as much as they like. And most of the time we don't dive deep into their business project or financial status, but we just help them to get to know the ecosystem and to get around in the system and know all the different partners. We connect with the students themselves. They were involved from the beginning, and they made for us a benchmark. When we started up Take Off Antwerp, they made a benchmark. They looked at other cities, at other student cities, and they wrote a paper saying what this Take Off Antwerp should look like, what we should do there, who should be involved. They also did a survey on students' needs and wants. So we try to get information from them and involve them to decide which way this project should go. And then the interdisciplinary character is very important, because we believe that the innovation comes from bringing students with different study domains, with different backgrounds, bringing them together. And we organized some workshops last year where they had to think about resolving problems on matters like mobility or sustainability. And they got together for one evening, different backgrounds. They just had a brainstorm and they came out with very nice ideas. So this is a way in stimulating not only people to start up their own business, but to stimulate the entrepreneurial thinking and the problem-solving thinking, and to get some entrepreneurial skills on the students, on behalf of the students. We made a little film. I'll try and show you. Okay.
Wat wij in de toekomst verwachten van de mensen die nu studeren, is dat zij heel veel initiatieven weten te ontwikkelen om alle grote uitdagingen in de wereld te kunnen aanpakken.
We gaan eigenlijk 3 dingen doen. Hè. Ideeën genereren, ideeën selecteren en dan uitwerken. En aan elkaar presenteren, en allemaal rond een thema.
Wat we echt willen bereiken is dat we verschillende studentengroepen, verschillende opleidingen willen samenbrengen rond de uitdagingen van de toekomst. En hen zo op een creatieve manier laten meedenken over hoe de toekomstige wereld er dan wel moet uitzien.
De presentatie vond ik persoonlijk heel interessant, die vooraf ging aan deze brainstorm sessie.
Hetgeen wat ik eigenlijk ook als boodschap in mijn presentatie probeerde te brengen, is dat ik het heel belangrijk vind dat de menselijke waarden centraal blijven staan.
Bouwkunde, vandaag de dag moet er eigenlijk veel technologie worden verwerkt in dergelijke zaken. En ja, het is eigenlijk allemaal interdisciplinair, dus het overlapt wel wat. Dus ik denk dat er wel mooie ideeën gaan uitkomen.
De lat vandaag die leggen ze zo hoog dat ze zelf willen. Er komen goede ideeën uit, slechte ideeën uit, interessante ideeën, ideeën die nog veel uitwerking nodig hebben.
Ik denk dat we ergens wel een lat hoog mogen leggen, maar elk idee is een goed idee nu en we zullen zien wat dat eruit komt.
And last of all, Take Off Antwerp wants to be a learning network, so I will give the word to George.
So, I will present me. I'm Georges Goffin. I'm the policy coordinator of the Antwerp University Association, which is an association of 4 institutes for higher education, the university, and 3 schools for higher education, 2 large schools of about 12,000 students, and 1 small a maritime academy with only 700 students. But together we are about 45,000 students in regular programs, but also in PhDs and everything that comes in post-academic education. This great network is brought together with the network of the city in a greater learning network that is part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Antwerp. And with this greater learning network, we want to bring people together, not only in their own institution, but around the different institutions on different disciplines, and also in making them aware of entrepreneurial and intrapreneurial thinking. How can I, even if I'm not an entrepreneur, also in a company, in an organization, be entrepreneurial? And this learning network works on the demands of students, of staff, and in our alliance program also of younger people. This Take-Off Antwerp Alliance, as we started in September 2016, is supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem for younger people, but in a student city. So we use the opportunities of a student city and bring them together also for youngsters that are not studying. I will talk about it in a minute. So, and we want to bring this ecosystem in a manner that everybody can find his way, because there is so much on entrepreneurial development, on entrepreneurial thinking, on entrepreneurial activities for younger people, and they see so much organizations, so much companies, but it's very difficult to find your way. So we want that environment, that entrepreneurial environment, be clear for them. We want to map, to bring it in a map so that everybody can find his own way, because every journey is another journey. Everybody has to find his own way, but we will help them and we will bring them to there. So in the same way, we want in this alliance stimulate the entrepreneurial thinking, the entrepreneurship. So that means that we are working also on student entrepreneurs, but also more on that, we are also working on the entrepreneurial awareness for the staff. And in this way, this alliance is a more broadened, more deepened partnership of the partners from before. For this project we got some money. The total amount of money is 500,000 euro. 30% was brought in by the partners, the local partners, 40% by the European Development Fund, Regional Development Fund, and 30% from the Flanders Agency for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. With this 500,000 euro, we will work for 2 years, and we have broadened our partnership with a youth organization, Kafka. They joined us to have a way to get to the people, the youngsters between 18 and 24 years old that are not in study, that are not in training, that are not in an educational program. The target group are the youngsters, but also the staff that is working with these youngsters. So a large group in a city like Antwerp. Antwerp has about 520,000, 40,000 inhabitants, and we have the higher education is just a fragment of the city, 45,000 students, but there are also a lot of younger people that do not have a degree, but there are also alumni in the age of 22, 23, 24 that are young potentials and that aren't served or were served now by the higher education. So we bring, this target group is, we are working for, but also for the staff, because we think that in the long term, this group of youngsters change every 6 years. But the teachers, the researchers, but also the youth workers and the supportive staff, they stay longer, and we really want to have them. They are the intermediary target audience. We want really to have them in the whole story of entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial sense for entrepreneurship together. And so we organize a lot of activities for the youngsters, but also for the staff. What we organize is always organized on demand. We ask them, what do you think is there, what are the needs, what do you think that is important to organize? So we have 3 pillars: connection, expertise, and support, but that will Marie tell for you.
First of all, last year we detected that there was a need for connection, because we had a lot of initiatives in Antwerp, very much initiatives, but they needed to be connected so that we could work together, and we needed more efficient way to do so. So that's the first thing. We are building, we are mapping the ecosystem to make it more clear for the youth, and we are building a dashboard to make it more clear who is doing what. The expertise, we know, bringing all these parties together, that there is a lot of expertise. We need to bring it together. We need to share best, worst cases. So we're building like a digital library to get everybody to get in touch with all the material that is that we have. And we installed support, meaning that every youngster in Antwerp now has someone or some place to go to. Every student has a point of contact in his own higher education institute where he can go to with questions about starting up a business. Where did this all bring us in 2017? We have like this trans-institutional cooperation. It sounds easy to do, but it's not always easy on day-to-day basis, because the higher education institutes on other matters, they are competitors, and it's not very easy to have them in a cooperation on subjects like this, but it works because they have a very complementary role, and we need just to keep the common ground, focused on the common ground and not on a competitive character of these higher education institutes. It's a bottom-up operation. It has been the last 2 years. We had some dedicated people from every organization working on it, and I believe that that's one of the strengths that's brought us this far, and now it's time to get it more on a strategic embedded on the other level. The higher education institutes involved in this project, they all installed a statute for student entrepreneurs. So they have the recognition of their institute being an entrepreneur alongside being a student. The recognition helps them to grow, but also they get support, coaching, and they get some facilities from their higher education institute. We reach now, I think it's more than 1,500 students. I think in the meanwhile we reach about more than 2,000 students with our workshops and information sessions. We have increased visibility because the one-on-one coaching sessions that the city of Antwerp has for young people or students, in 2000, the first year we did it, we had 15, 20 students coming to meet us for an appointment. Now we had over 65. So we see that this works and the visibility is increasing. We have coaching by the Chamber of Commerce. They are coaching the students on a more they introduce them with entrepreneurs who have already been in business, and we get some some other look on their businesses. And the first line support is installed for every student. But we are also facing some challenges, of course, because the cooperation with so many parties is not very easy. On a daily basis, it's sometimes hard to get there, but we try to get forward. We need to connect with the need youth, so the youth that is not in employment, not in education, not in training. There are a lot of them in Antwerp. They are hard to connect with, and we need to get them on board and to inspire them that maybe entrepreneurship could be something that they like to do. As we elaborated our cooperation since the European funding, we discovered that the approach for higher education institutes is very different from the approach with youth workers. So we need to get it working on both sides. So as I said, we need also embedding in the strategic level, and that's what we are working on now very hard, because we need some structural funding. Now we depend on the European funding. We have funding from the City of Antwerp, but that is only for this legislation. So we need to take it further so that we have some funding the next years. And the university has an academic DNA, and it's not very easy for them to get coaching, practical coaching on starting up a business. So they're still looking for who is going to do this, who is going to take it up, and who is going to coach the students. I think that's the main things we are still, challenges that we still have to tackle, and we'll do so the coming years. We also had we signed in for a new European project. I think George is going to tell you some more, and then we are ready for some questions.
We wrote a proposal for an Erasmus Plus project in the Knowledge Alliance part. These are rather large projects, about 1 million euro for a period of 3 years. We hope we will have it, but there are about 10 or 12 projects that will get some money, and there are about 70, 80 proposals. So we have to wait. We will know it the end of this month, start of July. But we really want to talk a little bit about it, because it's a program that is going further on a lot of things that were already established. There is a higher education innovate tool, which was developed with money of the European Union, and that gives which is a tool for higher education institutes to find out if they are innovative or not, and why they are and why they are not, and in what domains they are and in what domains they are not. And this higher education innovate tool gives a lot of challenges to a higher education institution. And you can use it for the whole institution, you can use it for the management staff, you can use it just for education program, you can use it on different levels. And what we are trying to do in this new project is to develop really hands-on instruments for higher education institutions, but also for organizations, for companies, to develop their innovative or innovation abilities. So we call it connecting and empowering sleeping resources, because we think there are a lot of possibilities, there is a lot of potentiality in every organization, in every higher education institute, in every company, but you have to waken up these resources. And these instruments that these tools that we are going to develop will really work on that. So we want to have this capacity for entrepreneurial and intrapreneurial development used by all those companies. And we do this in the triple helix model, which is a model developed at the University of Linköping by Magnus Klufsen, and which says for that kind of things you need a local authority, you need higher education, and you need the business companies. And that's this triple helix model in which we will be working. So, thank you.
So, thank you. And we can take one question at least as well. I have one question. Yeah. So you mentioned that the problem that you are like struggling with is that there are like not too many entrepreneurs among the graduates in Hamburg. So we are trying to solve that problem. Like more graduates become entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But you have like the ultimate goal set there. Like you want to be the, I don't know, how many new entrepreneurs you want to actually encourage with the program, or have you set some kind of milestones like year on a year?
As a city, we set a milestone that we want 2% of the graduates starting up a business in Antwerp.
Okay.
It's very ambitious.
But is it like somehow like business sector oriented as well, like meaning that you want to be good at ICT or electronics or?
The economic policy of the city is now focusing on technical development ICT. Yes.
Okay.
So preferably in that section.
Okay. So any other questions? Yeah.
Yes. I have a question relating to the budget. Because we have seen, so the budget is partially from the city transfer. So, but you have spoken about 40,000 euros. For, and then other 50,000 euros, 500 from European, 500 from European projects. And with the budget of from the city of Tallinn, what do you pay for?
With the 40,000.
With the 40,000.
Yeah. The only thing we did with the 40,000 was an operational budget, and we organized workshops, events, info sessions. On demand.
So on demand. Yeah. So you, for instance, you pay the teachers or the professors.
Yeah. Or we pay the venue or the venue.
Yeah. Okay. So the main structure is paid is managed with the 500,000 from European.
That's mostly used to pay people to coach in the higher education system. So they now have the availability to put a dedicated person on coaching students on instance. Yeah.
But we have also a lot of money from partnerships. So what makes that we have
multiplicator
factor of 3.
For every euro we put in it, we have 3 euros to use in for organizing activities.
Okay. Then we're going to move on to the next presentation, and it's going to be a shared one, and it's about University KD's network. And I would like to give the floor to Marta Fernandez and Javier Ramos. And I think Marta is the one who's going to be first.
Just let me introduce them first.
Okay, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Hey. Lucia, hi, I didn't see you before. Okay, I'm Manuel from Spain, South Spain, in Seville. I would like to introduce you really quick my stakeholders, because what is the idea behind this? As you know, as a part of the project, we have these stakeholders group meetings in preparation for the seminars or the workshop. By the way, we are very happy with our stakeholders group because we are creating, thanks to the project and to this stakeholder group meetings, we are really creating an ecosystem. We have, in our region, we have a lot of resources, but now we are kind of starting working together, and these meetings are becoming stronger and stronger, and we are getting joined by more stakeholders. So we are very happy. We are very successful with the speed up there. We select in the last stakeholder group meeting, we select 2 best practices. One is one led by the Chamber of Commerce. It's a cooperation for a business incubator in the aeronautic sector. I will get in the micro because they are streaming. And the aeronautic sector, and the cooperation is the Chamber of Commerce, the aeronautic cluster business, the university, the regional government, government. Very nice, very nice. But also we have this very good practice. It's led by Andalucía Emprende. They are Andalucía Emprende. Andalucía is the region, the name of the region, Entrepreneurship Andalucía. They are I will say, the instrument of the regional government to give all the support services related to entrepreneurship. And what they are doing, they have a lot of good practices because there is a very large network. But what they are doing, they are working now very close also with universities. And so among all these universities, we decided to invite together part of the stakeholder groups, one of the universities of the city. And so both of them will explain to you how this network, how these good practices is working. And we decided to invite, so each part of the cooperation, each part of the team, share their own point of view. Thanks so much.
Good morning. Thank you very much for this nice opportunity to be here today and to let me know you a little bit more. So as Manuel said, my name is Marta Fernandez. I'm working in Andalucía Emprende. Andalucía Emprende is a regional institution of the government. We are working with entrepreneurship about 18 years old. So we have a lot of experience about that. But now, it's like Manuel said, it's a good moment to make a good ecosystem in our region. So Andalucía Emprende missions is to promote and support entrepreneurship to contribute to the dynamization of the regional economy. So we have to promote the creation, development and consolidation of companies and employment through the supporting and training services for entrepreneurs. So for that, we have all the personnel, the infrastructure and all the necessary tools to guarantee the access of all Andalusia citizens to our service in any place of the region. We have more than 200 CADEs. CADEs is called Andalusian Business Center in all the region. As you can see in this map, the black point are the CADE, the Andalusian Business Center, and the big one with green color is the area where the CADE works. So this way we can cover all the region. One of the points I think is more important is the company or the startups we have helped last year. It was more than 12,000 new startups and 15,000 new employment. For Andalusia, this date, or that day, are very important because we have an employment rate very high. So we have to work very, very hard about that. One service Andalucía Emprende focus on mentoring for the development of the business idea. For example, with the all document their need, business model plan, seeking financial money, or private or public, with the investor, business angels. We have also agreements with the main banks of Spain to improve the financial condition, supporting of the first steps of the company, business training, consulting, business incubation as the beginning of the process, and helping to the consolidation. Here you can find more information you can see to know a little bit more about us. But I think one of the mainly service, from my point of view, more interesting is the incubation. We have spaces for free from 1 year until 3 years for industrial buildings, office and co-working areas. We have hubs both in rural and urban areas as pre-incubation and incubation as well. We believe in Andalusian talent and the capacity for creating ideas into business, transforming the society into a better place to live. For that reason, we are running programs for promoting entrepreneurship spirit. Last year, we had more than 5,000 events with a lot of people to part. In this way, we are working together with the Regional Ministry of Education. We foster the entrepreneurial culture at the public educational system, boosting entrepreneurial skill and knowledge from kindergarten to university. I think that's very important, because years ago, if you ask a university student about what are you going to do when you finish your study, a very high percent of them said, I like to be civil servant. So nowadays, this model, it doesn't fit. We have to change this mentality, and Andalucía Emprende, we try with proactive attitude approach the entrepreneurship at the university community. Thinking on a strategical sector, we have Social Economicade, Proyecto Lunar with creative and cultural projects, senior programs, senior mentoring for young entrepreneur, PlayStation Games Camp Andalusia program is the first incubator center for video games at Andalusia. Here, Coca-Cola, with intention of empowering women, and University Cádiz, to put in value the Andalusian talent and promoting the creation of the new business based on advanced knowledge. Now we are working in Almería, Málaga, Jaén, and recently, a couple of months ago, we signed an agreement with Pablo Olavide University. That's why today I'm here. With the intention to foster entrepreneurship. After summer, probably, we'll have a new CADE with co-working space for 10, 12 space for business projects to work closer with the university students, teaching staff, and researchers. The equipment of the building, internet, decoration, furniture, as well as electricity, cleaning, is done by the university, while the human resource, computer, or office material is managed by Andalucía Emprende. But to explain you more about this cooperation is here my partner, Javier Ramos.
Hello, my name is Javier Ramos, as Marta has said before. And before of that, I would like to show you the case data of Pablo de Olavide University. Pablo de Olavide University, now in abbreviated form as UPO. UPO is a small university located in Seville, created only 20 years ago. Okay. 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 Sorry. And Pablo de Olavide University is a public university. The main characteristic of Pablo de Olavide University is to have an unique campus, metropolitan campus of 137 hectares. And this unique campus allows the interaction between students of different specialities and to create a lot of interdisciplinary groups of teachers and researchers. We have about 14,000 students and 1,000 teachers. Between our 37 degrees and double degrees, we can highlight a degree in biotechnology, degree in criminology, degree in an MBA, or degree in social work and social education. Well, let's talk about activities for the promotion of the entrepreneurial culture. As Marta has said before, recently we have signed an agreement, an important and strategic agreement with Andalucía Emprende Foundation, and this agreement allows us to create a new office in our campus with a dual function. First of all, to be an Andalusian Entrepreneurial Center, where there will be a counselor in entrepreneurship every day, and on the other hand, to be a co-working space for members of our university, students or graduates who have an entrepreneurial project. Well, another important event developed at the first time this year is the first Business Angels round to financing Pablo de la Vida project. So we put 5 Pablo de la Vida projects already set up as companies in front of 20 FICA investors. What is FICA? FICA is the Federation of Industrialists and Merchants of Alcalá de Guadaira. Alcalá de Guadaira is a town with a lot of companies very close to Seville. So as a result of this Business Angels round, the Atrade Center project, Atrade Center, a center dedicated to care of Alzheimer patients, obtained a van adapted to wheelchairs of one of these investors. Well, like an ecosystem, this is a good example. From 2 years ago, Pablo de la Vida University is a member of Seville Intelligent Capital, SCI in Spanish single. So what is SCI? It's a non-profit association born from the civil society and whose mission is to create an ecosystem to promote the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial innovation. So SCI, under bringing together under a common project the largest initiative to promote entrepreneurship in the city of Seville. You can see a lot of institutions and companies are members of SCI. Well, another initiative is Andalucía Open Future Scholarships. This is a public and private initiative. Allows, is a new great agreement have seen between 3 members: regional government, Junta Andalucía, Pablo de la Vida University, and Telefónica company. These 3 members have signed a new agreement which allows to offer 60 scholarships every year of 1,500 euros each one to students who are doing a master's degree in Pablo de la Vida University. So with the help of Andalucía Emprende again, because they give them a training program, a free training program in scholarships, these students must to present an entrepreneurial project, and at the end we can get a double goals. Help them to pay the cost of the master and to promote entrepreneurial project. Well, another initiative in our university is Emprendevirus training program. This is a free training program too. We carry out with the collaboration of Esperides Biotech Group. Esperides Biotech Group is a spin-off of Pablo de la Vida University and aims to inoculate the virus of entrepreneurship among our youngest students of first or second years of any degree of our university. Well, Every year we celebrate also this contest, the Business Innovation Ideas and Project Contest. This contest distributes about 11,500 euros in categories such as the best spin-off, the best startups, the best biotechnology project, or the best end of master work. In this case, again, Andalucía Emprende collaborate with us, giving them a program and training program in entrepreneurship before the presentation of the entrepreneurial project. This is the award ceremony. Subsequently, the winning project of our contest is presented to the Andalucía competition, denominated Enlight Your Ideas. Enlight Your Ideas bringing together the best projects of the 9 public universities of Andalucía. In the last 2 years, our project has won one of the prizes. 2 years ago, Elegance Production Project, a biotechnology project, won the 2nd prize, and the last year, Autoplan, Ingenio Triana, won the 3rd prize in this contest. Well, another interesting event is Ideas Factory. This is like a Big Brother event, because during 3 days, working very hardly, very intensively, 75 students with our entrepreneurial project or entrepreneurial attitude, they are putting them in small groups, 5 or 6 persons each one, and with the help of expert mentors, they must create and develop a new business idea. So in these 3 days, they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner in our university, and at the end, they present the project. Awards are given to the best group, the best project, and to the person with the best entrepreneurial attitude. It's a very interesting event. Here you have the partnership and the participant. And finally, this is the most important event we celebrate every year in our campus. Why is the most important? Because it gathers in our campus more than 60 companies and institutions to promote employability and entrepreneurship. This is the poster of the last 2 years. This event has a double format, a virtual format, and at the same time a presential format. In the virtual format, through a virtual platform, students can send a curriculum to several companies or graduates also, and they in the presential format they can attend to the different conference, workshop, and visit the different stands to speak with the heads of human resource of different companies. And to finish, I would like to show you a little video post-event. That is all.
Do we have questions? No? Everything is clear? Okay. We have a coffee break coming pretty soon, so the final presentation before the coffee break would be by the Foundation for Research and Innovation, and for that I would like to ask Dr. Chiara Guigiani. Pretty good. To have the floor, and she will be accompanied by the colleague, Alexander,
Hi.
on Skype as well.
Alexander, can you hear us?
Coffee break. Innovation. You have
Marit, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very loud.
Very loud, too much, I'm sorry.
I guess this should work. So this to go forward. You can switch slides if you want to turn the point. And talk into the microphones. Okay, thank you.
So, good morning, everyone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Very loud.
Very loud. I'm sorry.
Okay, I go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chiara Guigiani, and first of all, I want to thank all the Speed Up project partners and the municipality of Florence for inviting me here today. So today I'm here to present the Foundation for Research of Innovation, the best practice and its projects, which can be described as sub-best practices. First of all, what is who we are? The Foundation for Research of Innovation was founded in 2007 by the University of Florence and the province of Florence, which in 2015 became the Metropolitan City of Florence. From 2017, we have a new institutional supporter associated member, which is Bank Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio di Firenze. And we are constantly open to new members and supporters. We represent the triple helix of innovation because we have public sector, private sector, and also research organizations. And we work as a macro system inside the metropolitan Florence area, and within it in smaller microsystems. Our main purposes are to strengthen synergies among university, enterprises, institutions, to deepen relationships with our partners and stakeholders. Then, as we are founded by the University of Florence, we promote technology transfer and higher education. We spread innovation, innovative thinking, and research results. These are our main activities. We do project design, we do project management, we create events, we promote research, we do matchmaking events, we promote funding opportunities, both private and public. We do technology transfer, communication strategies, and also we work for the growth of companies with services such as tutoring, mentoring, coaching, especially for early stage startups, and with business model and business planning. So, the contents of the best practice then are mostly related to startups and refer to all the services mentioned, so tutoring, coaching, mentoring, matchmaking, fundraising, training, which are functional to startup growth, but also to incubation, acceleration processes, and also to the growth of productive fabric. So the best practice can be described as made of 4 sub-best practices, which are 4 projects.
The first one is Impresa Campus Unifi, which is a 5-month-long training program for graduates and PhD students. And the objective, the aim of the project is to spread entrepreneurial culture and awareness, and eventually to bring successful ideas in becoming startups, companies. The second project is project to support innovative startups. We need innovative startups which belongs to a specific area, which is the Florence metropolitan area. And in here we scout their needs. First of all, they told us they need money. We don't have money in this project, but we can give them services. So we asked them to think what they needed for services, and we developed a training program to respond to their needs. This is Hubble. It's a pure acceleration program made of 16 weeks of training, in which we gave to the startups a grant up to 50,000 euros for startups. And in here, the objective is to train them fastly, to help them to scale up, to explode in the market after the end of the 4 months of training. Then we have Faber Project, which is a project that involves local companies and researchers coming from the academic world. And in here, we are implementing R&D activities. This is a new project that brings innovation in the territory, because the project with the researcher has an innovative impact on the territory. We are now at the core of the best practice, because these are, I'm going to show you the pillars of the 4 projects, and these pillars are fundamental for the best practice itself, but also for getting the right support from local authorities. So, what are the pillars for Impresa Campus Unifi? We need graduates, PhD students, we need the university to gather them, and we need a specific training program. What are the pillars for project to support innovative startups? Of course, startups. Then we need customized services and a governative entities which has interest in new entrepreneurship, because it can support us to give trust to startups so they can open up and tell us exactly what they need. Then for Hubble Acceleration Program, we need entrepreneurs, innovative startups, we need an acceleration program and a space where to train them, to train the startups, and then we need some funds for them. Then for Faber Project, we need local companies, we need researchers, and we need an innovative project to, like, this is the way that we can give funds to companies. So, these pillars can be seen also as ingredients. You can take some of these and you can mix them on what you have in your local realities, and then create brand new projects as much as you want. For example, here we have 2 projects that affect startups. They are really different, because one is a pure acceleration program and one is services, but they involve both of them startups. Then we have 3 over 4 projects related to training programs. The training programs are designed and managed by Foundation for Research and Innovation, and this means that in our reality, what companies need are training. They want to be trained. Then we have 2 projects with funding. Without these grants, these funds, these projects couldn't be realized. After pillars, we have also challenges. Challenges can be seen as barriers, but if you go through barriers, you can create winning ideas, winning projects. For Impresa Campus Unifi, the challenge here is to transform the ideas of young people into successful companies or startups. The challenges for project to support innovative startups are to find the right channel to communicate with startups, then to segment them, to understand what they need, and then to help them networking together, because there's a really big gain on the networking that they can create with each other. And then there is the collection of local need to implement specific policies. For the Hubble Acceleration Program, we need grants, so we need money for the startups to involve the most competitive ones. And then there are shared selection criteria. We need, as said before, a place where to train them. So we need a startup studio, an acceleration studio, co-working space. We need then digital experts, mentors who can train the startups. And then we need a customized and training program. And then for further project, the challenges are to spread the call. And then the most important thing maybe is the match between the university and the company, because the researcher has to develop the innovative project, so he needs to be really the most expert one in that field. And then, of course, the co-financing researcher salaries. Now, the impacts of these projects are different. They involve direct effects on companies, so the enhancement of expertise, the strengthening of companies, and easier access to private and public funds, but there are also indirect effects, because through the collection of local needs, it's possible to develop local policies. So this is the best practice can be described as a specific multi-level pathway, which involves different projects at different level. And what is essential to the best practice is to have a common language to interact with stakeholders, to connect them and to develop collaborations, then to provide access to information, to events, to activities, and last is essential to implement impacting initiatives which can bring real benefits for the territory. Questions?
For the Hubble Acceleration Project. You mentioned it's mainly European entrepreneurs that you're targeting?
Yes.
Actually, it's two questions. Are you seeing it is in fact Europeans or mainly Italians? And second question, do they actually stay in the region? So do they strengthen the economic fabric, or do they go back to wherever they are from?
Okay, so first question, the call is open for all Europe. We are now at the first batch of first editions, so we have just seen for this first time what happened. We had 107 startups participating to the call. I think, of course, most of them were Italian. We had few from Europe, but maybe we need just to develop it and to have a different strategy to involve also European startups. And as a second question, during the first, during the training program, companies are coming to Florence to be trained to this startup studio, and then I think they go back where they come from. Of course, in this call we have two companies from the metropolitan area of Florence, so they are already here, and two coming from from the north of Italy. So, okay. Any other questions? Okay.
So I guess we can take a coffee break now. So we will have about 30 minutes of coffee break.
There's Alexander on Skype.
And then we be back here 11:40, please. No, we didn't.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's start off with the next part of the session, or the final part of the session as well. And as I promised, I will give you like some information about like what is going to happen afterwards as well. So as we have 3 presentations and 3 good practices in this session now. Yes. I'm going to go over like some organizational stuff as well. So we're going to have 3 presentations, and that means that we end a bit earlier than expected, and the lunch will be served downstairs at 1 p.m. So I think we have like something like 15 minutes or 20 minutes before the lunch, so you can go to the hotel room or just walk around a bit. And after the lunch at 2:30, we're going to have taxis waiting in front of the hotel. They all have the signs, speed up signs on them, and just grab one, share the cabs.
We have a cab for 20 people, so make sure that everybody is present.
Yeah. And at 3 o'clock we are going to arrive to Ülemiste city, which is near to the airport, and there we're going to visit the ICT Demo Center, and this is the place where you can see, touch and try out like all the Estonian e-solutions like e-voting, X-road, parking, stuff like that. So they're going to present like all the cases that have been developed here, and you can ask questions and try them out as well. The cabs are going to take you back from Demo Center starting from 4 o'clock, and probably we are going to arrive here something like 4:30 in front of the hotel. And then at 4:45 we have arranged the guided city tour for you as well. So if you want to take part of that, then the starting point will be downstairs in the hotel here in Tallinn. So 4:45, and the tour will eventually end in front of the restaurant where we are going to have the dinner. So it's pretty convenient, but if you want to like visit the hotel room every now and then you have to like make the time for that. So yes. Okay, but then let's carry on with the good practices. And the next one will be presented by Marko Riiva, and he's going to do that over the Skype. And the name of the practice is Citadella Galileana. I think I pronounced it somehow correctly. Okay, but I'm more than glad to give the floor to Marko.
Okay, hi everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Okay. So first of all, I want to apologize for my absence today. I'm very sorry, but yesterday morning my flight from Turin to Frankfurt was cancelled because of technical. Can't hear you. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Is it better now? Okay, perfect. I was saying that first of all I want to apologize for my absence today. I'm very sorry, but yesterday morning my flight from Turin to Frankfurt was cancelled because of technical reasons, and the next flight was overbooked, and so I remain in Italy. Well, I would like to present to you the case of Galilei Citadel, located in Pisa. That is a very new experience. First of all, some words about Pisa. The city of Pisa is an important scientific and technological hub in Italy. The area of Pisa is in fact a concentration of different factors of development. There are 3 important universities, the University of Pisa, Sant'Anna Superior School and Normale, with a particular focus on technical and scientific information. Then there is the National Research Council and the National Nuclear Physics Institute that are involved in the development of frontier technologies. And then there are different innovation poles, like Navacchio pole in high-tech and Sant'Anna Valdera in the biomedical, microengineering and robotic sector. Pisa Academic Hub boasts the highest regional concentration of graduates in science subjects, and as well as almost 40,000 researchers in the area. The Galilei Citadel is a place that wants to connect different worlds, innovative companies, universities, R&D centers, business incubators, startups, spin-off, and also cultural institutions and citizens. In fact, the Regeneration project is based on the integration of different pillars: scientific and cultural promotion, R&D and knowledge transfer, business innovation activities, but also museum and edutainment and tourism. The Galilei Citadel is thought to be a dynamical representation of the urban innovation system, connecting on one hand the best competencies in science and ICT, and on the other hand the cultural and historical aspects that are very important, of course, in Pisa. The Galilei Citadel is inspired by the international model of science center. The center is dedicated to develop an historical and scientific narrative dedicated to Galileo and his experiments and his researches. So, as you can see, in the center there will be a museum dedicated to Galileo, an entertainment and cultural space where tourists or citizens can play to reproduce the scientific experiment made by Galileo, with a particular area dedicated to children activities, a conference space, and a business integrator, and of course some bookshops and coffees. The total area is very big. We are speaking about 15,000 square meters that include also a very big green area, and it's located in the city center, about 800 meters from the famous Leaning Tower of Pisa. The place was an old industrial and old slaughterhouse, and the reconstruction has been implemented through the ERDF operational program of the Tuscany region. The business integrator is working on the Industry 4.0 challenges, where we host in a stimulating environment startups and spin-off specialized on IoT, big data, cloud for computing, and robotics. And here you can see some of the main keywords for our activities and functions. Well, the business integrator is first of all a place where we host startups and spin-off. But most of all, the business integrator is a center for knowledge and innovation, a real hub that works on design, business development and business modeling, acceleration processes, internationalization, the connection between well-established industries and startups and innovators, training and dissemination, and R&D services like patent evaluation. We also have a co-working space for hosting startups, university spin-offs, and teams of innovators. And we also have prototyping labs working on physical products and hardware development, In this lab, we will provide assistance to pre-industrial phase and prototype for startups, but also for informal teams like students. These are some of the startups that we host in our space. They are all involved in the new industrial manufacturing sector. And this is very important because the Cittadella Galileiana is, I think, a good example of public-private partnership involving the local public administration and the private organization. In fact, the place is property of the town, but the Cittadella is managed by external organization, chosen by a public call. I work for FGB, Fondazione Giacomo Brodolini, that is one of the two main partners that are managing the business integrator. The other one is R-Quadro, that is a software company specialized in intellectual property analytics and knowledge management software. And FGB is a no-profit organization working at international level for matching demand and supply of innovation as an innovation broker and facilitating the acceleration of local ecosystems for innovation. And finally, I want to underline that PISA is not an isolated case. In fact, FGB is managing different innovation centers located in the north of Italy. They have all different missions and they are all different. One is an incubator dedicated to social enterprises. One other is a Fab Lab dedicated to digital manufacturing located in Milan. The biggest one is located in Turin and is an open innovation center. And then we have two other business incubators dedicated to green technologies and mountain technologies. They are all different, but of course they are all hubs of a network. And this is, I think, very important for the exchange, the continuous exchange of knowledge, technologies, resources, and talents. And that's all. Here you can find my email, and so don't hesitate to contact me. And if you have any question, of course, I'm here.
Thank you, Marco. So, do we have some questions? You can't see the audience, but they are very excited, but they don't have any questions yet. But then, thank you, Marco, for the presentation. And we have your contacts, and if there's something, we are going to contact you.
Perfect. Thank you to you, and sorry for my absence.
Yeah, we can do that next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So, now we're going to move on to Brandenburg University of Technology, and we're going to talk about the startup services in the university, and for that reason I'm more than glad to give the floor to Dr. Magdalena Mitzler-Paar, and the floor is yours. The presentation will be here shortly as well.
So, thank you very much. Welcome to this talk. I want to show you how startup service providing works in Brandenburg. And we see here Brandenburg. It is the country around Berlin. This is the Berlin area, and you see Brandenburg is lying around the capital, Berlin. It is a rural area with about 2.5 million inhabitants, and the capital is quite near Berlin. It's Potsdam. You see, here is Cottbus, and here on we will talk about Cottbus. In Brandenburg, the startup founding is provided by mainly 4 institutions which are funded by the European Union. And you see, first we have the pilot services, the regional pilot services, which address mostly unemployed people. You see them here, the red color of the name are the red points. Okay, are the red points in the map. Okay, I stay here on my place. Secondly, we also have, we concentrate also on migrants, which is a green point, and the startup service at the universities, which I'm speaking for, are the yellow points. There are 8 universities in Brandenburg, and on each university we have a startup service which shall accompany the startups and the sensibility for to create a company. And we also have the Gründerwerkstatt or the foundation garage. They are addressed to young people under 30 years, and the startup services of the universities has as target groups the students, graduates which left the university for almost 5 years, not more, and of course the scientific staff. So, startup service at the BTU, the Brandenburg University of Technology. We are in the very southeast of Brandenburg. We are a small university with about 7,000 students. And the startup service is terminated project, and in the actual period, which will end at the end of the year, we are working with 2 main objects. We want to raise the awareness of the students and the staff that starting a startup is also an employment option, an option for them for their own career, and in the very early stage to coach and consult the students with experts, also external experts, to write their idea to a good business plan, so then that they can go, for example, to incubators or something like that. You see, we are mostly 5 people working on this area. This is the academic staff, which are the contact persons, and they mentoring the students. They give labs, for example, labs to rise up to and to work out startup ideas by the students and bring them to a final business plan. It is important for us to have interdisciplinary teams, because we are a technical university, so the engineers, but also the engineers very often have no interest in economical questions, and therefore it is always a challenge for us to create good teams. We also have 2 ladies which caring mostly with the administration of the project internally and externally with the project partner. So, our 2 main tasks, the awareness and coaching and consulting, we can see here in the structured process. Here we have the awareness phase, and here we very hard work in the students in combination with the chair of innovation and entrepreneurship to get awareness by the students. A lot of students come to us, and entrepreneurship or founding and starting up is no idea at all for them. It's no way for their own career, and so we have to sensibilize them that this can be a chance for them. So we deal on the chair in connection with the startup service on this first step. The second step here is the coaching and consulting part is divided in four parts. 2A, more or less. Here is an initial meet-up with the founders and founding teams. We want to catch up them. We want to create the idea that founding an own company could be an own way. And here we try it. Here we try to consult with several events. For example, we have events where successful founders share their experience, and we try to teach which kind of financing is given by the state to help them, to bring them together with business angels to get a first impression and so on. So the second step is a group coaching. In the group coaching, we are looking which knowledge is missing the most, and the group can coach by special themes. For example, marketing or taxes, or also team building and so on. Then in the third phase of the second step, we have the external consulting. Here, deeper questions can be solved with the professionals outside, which are very intensively involved in consulting starting ups. And you see a certain budget is calculated per person to support the founders when they ask for external consulting. After this step, our work is more or less ending. This is the very early stage of developing a startup, and after having registered, we are not allowed anymore to coach our students. They have to go to other institutions which are concentrated on this phase of the support. By raising awareness, we have normal lectures which are integrated in our curriculum, but we also have special events. For example, we called it Tech Day. Here we have a hackathon where we had about 15 participants who created a prototype of their idea during 24 hours. So we tried to bring them together to build up a networking when they spent 22 hours together, which meant breakfast together, lunch together, but also sleeping together in one room. And I think it was a very interesting event, and we will repeat it. So, what are our cooperations? First of all, the first partners are the other universities in Brandenburg. We are 8 universities in Brandenburg. Each of them has a start-up service, but they are working independently. So each start-up service looks at its university, what are the needs and how do we want to realize the sensibilization of our students and our staff. Other actors are we will find in Cottbus itself. It is the city of Cottbus and other institutions and partners which also care about startups and foundings. And there are several, at least I think about 5 other institutions, and unfortunately we do not always work together. Sometimes we also work against each other, and that is one point. I think we heard it before, when there are many or more than 2 or 3 actors, they probably work not together but against each other. We also work together with the commercial and industrial chamber, as we also heard before. What we also do, sorry, a very important partner is the economic activity promoting for Brandenburg. Is they have the task to support economical development in Brandenburg, and there is a project named Innovation braucht Mut, or translated Innovation needs courage. They aim to support technical and knowledge-based business ideas, and they want to develop them for about 1 year to look whether the idea is technical and economical feasible. And these are also those ideas we are focused on, also because we are technical university. These are the ideas which are the most important for us. On the other hand, we have cooperations with the let me say, 2 banks, banks of our state, Brandenburg state and Berlin state, and the regional Lusatian business plan competition. Here, both of them prepare a business plan competition. Our students take part on it to show their ideas and to get external coaching for the ideas. The business plan competition Berlin-Brandenburg is the greatest business plan competition in Germany, and it is also quite well connected with the founding area in Berlin, and also with a lot of investors which we'll mostly find in Berlin, like the business angels of Berlin and others. At the moment in Cottbus city there is
the founding of a business incubator. Up to now, there is no business incubator, and here the city of Cottbus is planning such a center in the very very next to the campus of our university. It shall be near the campus of the university because of the technical knowledge which is on the campus, but also because of the technical facility we have on campus, which shall also be used by the young founders, which will be in the business incubator. It is important that we want to concentrate on this building more or less an all-in-one location where the founders can come, all founders can come, and they are directed to the right partners from the technical point of view, from the economical point of view, from networking point of view, and so on. Okay, what have we learned? We have learned that communication is very, very important. Very important to our partners in the region, but only very important to the founders and the entrepreneurs, also if they have left the university. Otherwise, we do not get any synergy effects, and we more or less start always at the beginning with our efforts. Secondly, the founders, the students you are supporting, they have to think about you. That means you have to be in the head of your partners, which means that we have to build up intensive cooperations and always plan new events and have new ideas to bring us together and to bring us together forward. The third one, do not compete with each other. For example, we in Cottbus, we have at the moment, let me say, a little competition between the university and the foundation garage, because our target group is not really different, and so because each of us has key indicators we have to fulfill, so we try to fulfill them with our students or with other people. That doesn't matter at some times. So I have seen a lot of interesting talks in the morning, and I think we are on the way. We are on the very first steps of a way, but we had examples where we can see where we hopefully will go to. Thank you very much.
So, I mean, in the university, you mentioned that you have like a lot of competitions for the students or startup initiatives and trainings for them. But do you also have like some financial grants for the students that can maybe use that to do the prototyping or to do the first product development things?
Yeah.
And how is this related to the university? Like, is the university more or less like the sponsor or like a stakeholder in there?
Yeah, the sponsor is more or less the university by the program, so by the European Union. Are this amount where we can support the external consultancy, but we also have, I told it, here we also have a stipendium, a scholarship for about 1 year, that is given by the state of Brandenburg. But we are we bring students, founding teams, which have with good ideas. We bring them more or less to this regional institution for further promotion.
Okay, and you are working with early stage startups or initiatives or ideas.
Yeah.
But have you seen like that some ideas involved to the like?
Yeah, we have some, but not really technological startups or some technological startups. It because on the one side it takes a long time, and on the other side a lot of startups are changing from Cottbus, for example, in other area, for example, to Berlin or something like that, where the startup scenery is more vibrant, and you have much more large companies who support the startup scene. In Cottbus and also in whole Brandenburg, mostly small and middle-sized enterprises are. And the interest to support the startups is not as much. And as we have seen, for example, by the Megatron, you need companies to support your idea. And we are, up to now, we are lacking for this.
Okay, good. So, yeah, one more question.
You are now beginning to work on European funding.
Yeah. Up to now, we have 3 periods for this project. The next will follow. We are now preparation the next proposal. Yes. And we had a change in the university leadership, and our new president is supporting the entrepreneurial area, and probably until the end of the year we will get 2 full-time equivalent at the university, not in the project but by the university, to support this area. Up to now it's just in terminated project. And I think this will also be a very important step for us.
Yeah, one more question.
I represent a business organization. And from your point of view, how the business community can support more university and this beautiful task that you are doing and all these kind of programs?
Yeah, for example, if there are interesting ideas, and these ideas are also interesting for the community, so they can support each other by also transformation of the knowledge. They can get knowledge from and ideas from the young entrepreneurs, but on the other hand, the young entrepreneurs can get knowledge from existing business, and I think this exchange is very, very important. And up to now, we lack of this support.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Again,
okay.
Big hand. And now, last but not least, entrepreneurship and new venture creation, and we're going to have the Polish presentation on that. Anna Olszewska.
Yes, thank
Almost
you.
correct.
That's me. Very correct, actually.
Very correct. That's good. And yeah, if you're all set, then the floor is all yours as well.
Thank you very much. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and yeah, I'm the only thing that keeps you, from the lunch break. So I will try to be,
I'm doing something as well. So.
Okay, so the pressure is off. Thank you very much for that. I'll be talking today about entrepreneurship and new venture, but also I wanted to show you my university in a more broader sense. And since we've heard so many great stories of universities and successes today, I'm very happy I can present one as well. So I'll be focusing on the business sector and university dimension in particular. My home university is Koźmiński University, and it is a very young university, as you can see. We have around 8,000 students from all over the world, and much more than that already, alumni, which are very proud of having a great relationship with, which is not to be forgotten for the next part of the presentation. Our founder is Professor Koźmiński himself, who founded this university to commemorate his father, who already in 1950s organized something like we do, basically. So he was trying to transfer best practices from the Western Europe when it comes to entrepreneurship on the Polish market. So basically he is a very, very important person for us. And his son is still a visionary and the person behind this university, currently the president of our university, with a great academic record, being really a full professor of management, sociology and economics, and a Fulbright scholar with orders and many prizes. But he, as you can already assume, have this entrepreneurial spirit in his veins, and he really runs this university as an enterprise as well, which I'll come back to later on. We are very proud to have triple accreditation, which is very rare. Only 76 universities have it around the world, which means, again, that we are assessed actually on our ability to connect with the business and establish good long-term relationships, but also with entrepreneurs and creating networks, being a platform, internationalize. Actually, we are very, very, very strong in internationalization and with the business, with the help of the business partners, which lead us to being quite top of the rankings, especially when it comes to Financial Times and business schools. We are always very much appreciated. When it comes to our home rankings, we are always number one since year 2000. So that's pretty impressive, something to be very, very proud of. But this information you can all find on the internet. And as I said, the success actually started from our founder, who is still pushing the vision and is leading the way. Professor Koźmiński was awarded a prize from the Polish Confederation Leviathan for having this astonishing achievement of being a private university who is actually setting trends for the whole Poland and working very hard for it. And I will pause here for a moment just to show you one of my students as well, and what he has to say about our university and how it helped him in his business.
Hi there, my name is Artem and I'm the second year master student of Management and Virtual Environment here in Koźmiński University. The idea of going to Poland to study was pretty much spontaneous, and my choice was based on several merits. So the first one is the university's ranking, then the feedback from all my colleagues and friends, and actually people who graduated from university, and of course the university's achievements. A part of level of education and professors, I would like to mention out two main things. The first one is that the school organizes a lot of events and performances and gatherings and involve a lot of interesting speakers, so as to say, gives you an opportunity to develop yourself. And finally, the university gives you the motivation and inspiration to create your own business. For me, it's pretty crucial. I've never thought that in the future I would like to create my own business from scratch, and now that's my passion. I would say that after graduation from KU, I would like to put a lot of endeavors in my time to develop my project. And in terms of studying, I really like to proceed my academic career and apply for a PhD there. Talking about success, I would divide in two categories. The first one is I've never paid for tuition. I got 2 grants for my bachelor and my master, and here I got the grant from the Norway fund, so it saved a lot of money for me. And in terms of professional career, I'm the co-founder of the delivery company back in Ukraine, and I'm really proud of that project. But Poland is amazing. Since I'm Ukrainian, we are pretty much similar actually, so I haven't had any problems with assimilation or getting known in Poland itself. So everything is perfect, and it's really easy to go to Ukraine back and go back and forth, Thinking about the success and the connection to Kazminski University, I would say that Kazminski helped me to develop my idea from the scratch. Actually, I had several meetings with professors, so they pointed out the pros and cons of the project, the areas of improvement, and right now, having this information, I can develop it even further.
Okay, so how we do it at Kazminski, as you've heard from Artem, we are, of course, consulting our students on a daily basis. And we actually started with thinking what our students really need. And when you ask them where they are coming from, it's usually from entrepreneurial families. And they have this pressure on themselves to follow their parents' footsteps and take over the companies. So we developed many programs to help them do that. And these programs, both at the bachelor level, master level, postgraduate, PhD, MBA and executive MBA, are designed to help students choose the suitable topics for themselves. We offer a lot of elective courses that are targeted for entrepreneurship, and this is how students can actually learn about it. But the way we teach is very practical, so they have to work on projects throughout the semester where we consult them, not only me as a tutor, but my colleagues and external partners as well. And this is how we prepare them for the stage that I will talk about a little bit further. What we are very proud of actually as well is double degree programs. So in specializations such as marketing or entrepreneurship, etc., with universities such as ECP and Bordeaux and Mannheim. So that's really something to mention. When it comes to the diversity, this is actually where, as you all know, the best ideas come from. So students meet on the project, they are put to the group together, they have to work on the business idea. And we are very proud to have these business babies already in the market, soft drink company and other companies that I will shortly talk about. So we have almost now much more than 200 partners, but really business schools that are accredited on the same level as we are. Pablo de Olivares was one of the universities that I had the pleasure to actually teach at last month in Sevilla. So this is how we partner with our universities. We exchange, of course, our know-how as well. And the promised business world connection. How we do it in Kazminski in Warsaw, it's actually on 3 levels. First level is the governance, and the second level is, of course, the students, and the third level is our alumni that I already mentioned we are very proud to have a great network of. So from the top, from the example of our patron, our founder, and the entire team, we have something which is called International Corporate Advisory Board, where we have Nobel Prize winners, we have people from telecom, from banks, from business, from abroad, of course, and very prominent Polish entrepreneurs as well. What is the aim of them? Is to advise on strategic matters to our university, and also on how to bring this knowledge to be more practical and bridge academia with practice. So this is something that we really, really care about. So this is the governance level. For the students, we take micro actions, but also macro actions. The micro actions, as you can see on these pictures here, is of course plenty of study trips. This is how I met Jan, who actually was my host for many meetings with students, but we also go to Tech Hub, Google Campus, and many other places to give students the reality check, to encourage them to go to the demo nights, to present, to go to the Toastmasters and practice their pitching abilities, etc. So we go out with them a lot, and that's something that we value. We also have the business club, which invites people from our network, and as you already seen on the previous slide, we have pretty well established connections with business world in Poland, but also abroad, to invite these great speakers as well, and to organize networking or such great meetings as we have here today, where students can actually ask questions to these entrepreneurs or the role models or business people. And that's something that it's really happening weekly, and on our events page, it's full of it. And we have something that we really treasure still on the micro perspective, which is the cooperation with Center of Entrepreneurship Small. I already told you that this is how we encourage our students who want to or who see themselves to actually talk with entrepreneurs and check their projects in reality. And last but not least, still in the student section, is Entrepreneurial Center, which was a big initiative under Action 6.2 of Social Capital, which was very complex. It included cooperation with the whole Warsaw, where we had information points, where we were part of the big research of entrepreneurial students around the world, which was called GES, hosted by University of St. Gallen. And we had many trainings for people from startups, especially those who wanted to internationalize. And of course, this is still, the center still exists, and it's still going on. And something that is really distinguishing our university is the guest speakers from abroad that are coming to us. So not only Nobel Prize winners who are talking, but also business people. This is something that I thought will be particularly interesting for you. This is why I've put it, because this is about the startup world. So we had this great conference where really all us connected are packed with students and also with external guests who are eager to ask questions and learn how to actually lead a startup. So that was one of the examples. So we are done with the students part. And now I would like to talk to you about the Career and Alumni Relations Office. This is for our graduates, but also for our students. So we offer for our students traineeships and internships with our partners. I took this print screen while I was preparing the presentation a few days back. So you can see we are trying to look for offers, but also many companies come to us because they value our graduates and our students. They actually are preferred on the market. So we help them with, again, having this business link to go to great companies such as PwC or PepsiCo, etc. I told you that we have these business babies, as we call them, and this is something that really I didn't see much traveling around here and there. We have our own coffee place, so we don't have Starbucks at our facilities. We actually have our students who set up a business, and they are running their coffee place so successfully that now it is a franchise. Now it's a chain all over all universities. So we are very proud of them. We give them room, we give them financial support, we give them a lot of networking, and we are happy that they are succeeding. Another one is our own burger place, which now is a spin-off, and it became a track business. So they are very popular and very tasty. But not only in gastronomy we have some successes, we also have our own fashion line. which is really good quality. I was actually thinking to wear it today, but it's trying to be very casual, and there are many gadgets such as cufflinks and power banks. You can get really everything there. Which is very nice. We use our own students, they actually are volunteers, for our promotional campaigns, and we have our own social media club, which takes care of that, and our marketing department is fantastic in doing this job for students and with students, but also with external media partners. And we are establishing, now it's going to be the 12th edition of Koźmiński Lion statue. You can see it here. We are awarding this statue in 3 categories. Best lawyer, because we also have very good law department. Best manager, because of our MBA program, which is top-notch. And in entrepreneurship. And when you go to these companies, you see our lion standing very proudly somewhere in the main place. So we are extremely thrilled. And we give this only to our graduates, of course, which shows, if you go to the website and you see how many people already have got that, the numbers are pretty impressive. So that comes with the prestige, and this is the cherry on the pie. But I told you that now we are developing this macro perspective. This is something that is just sort of a seed that it's gonna hopefully blossom, which is called Grow Point. We are right now in the pilot, finishing the pilot of this Grow Point acceleration program for our own students and our graduates, where we have over 50 mentors from our alumni network, but also from corporate world, through our business partners, from public authorities, and people that actually can be useful to our students. So we will be even more trying to find a right mentor for the particular students who are coming to our program. We do it with cooperation. It's just a snapshot of a few of our partners. Our university generally, since 2012, is a partner of Santander Universidades. And we also are very close, good partners with Bank Zachodni WBK, which is a part of Santander Group as well. But this particular acceleration program has also media group in it, will have lawyer firms included and accounting. So we try to build a facility around our students to really help them with their businesses. And how are we going to do this? I told you this is the pilot, so we are learning, as you already shared as well, that there are many challenges, and it's going back and forth. But we are right now doing this legal sort of ground for this project. So it will, if this meeting would only be in autumn, I would be able to tell you much more, because it starts in autumn. It takes off in a full way. It comes in two ways. First, me as a tutor and my colleagues, we are during the semester, as I told you, working with students, consulting and doing everything for them to help them actually build their business and progress. So either we can recommend a student to the acceleration program, or as it was so far, there's a sort of a Dragon's Den competition where there is a panel of jury of professors, our business partners, and people from media. So it's a very great process of actually accepting the students, and only 10. This is the aim of the acceleration program, that we will have and host 10 students every term. With that, I would like to thank you very much. If you have any questions for me, you can either ask me now over lunch or at one of the two addresses. So thank you very much.
Thank you. take a question or two as well. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to understand how did you manage the setup of, for instance, brand coffee or the fashion line? Did you provide some facilitation in order to create a friendly background?
Yeah, definitely. We did, first of all, we've done the space, right? We provided support. So this is something that they are doing within our facilities. They started with a very small point, and then we were seeing that they are growing, and the queue is huge, and people are coming from outside of the university because the coffee is so good. So I observed my colleagues who are in charge of this with this project that they were really giving them bigger and bigger and bigger space, and now they have half of the orchard, so they are now owning the biggest space, and they really developed. They have food now and snacks and healthy breakfasts and all sorts of milks and syrups that you can think of. So
that's it. Are you part of the society? The university is part of the
business.
Of the business. No. You
Not
just
the
provide
stakeholder or not owning the equity in
as
the.
far as I know.
Okay.
But I can check and come back.
But what about the acceleration program? You mentioned that you were going to
That's
run.
what we are working on.
So there you want to actually do the investments and stuff
yes,
like that.
we would love to. Yeah.
Okay. So any other questions? No? Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I have the same remote.
Yeah, you can keep that. So this was the last presentation of the Good Practice, and yeah, I thank you all. It was very, very interesting, and for me especially, I think the most interesting part was that how early stage this seeking for new innovations and startup is actually taking place of, in the university, in the first in bachelor degrees, for instance, already. Probably if we get together after 10 years or so, then we are talking about how to encourage innovation in, I don't know, high schools or kindergartens maybe. So yeah, it's very early stage work that we're doing. And what was also very interesting for me was the triggering part, how many different triggers there are in the universities that actually can encourage the innovation or entrepreneurship. A lot of business idea competition, a lot of prize money available for the students, a lot of development opportunities in the labs and things like that. And also I think 90% of the presenters today mentioned the private sector and the corporations. No university or municipality, they can't really do the things alone, so they need strong support in there. But again, the bad thing around the corporations is that they tend to fade away as well, because the industry is being disrupted by the startups and university startups mostly. Actually, a fun fact, do you know how many companies out of Fortune 500 are alive today? It was published first, I think, in 1955 or 56. What's your assumption? How many companies are alive today out of these 500 companies? 2016. No idea? Actually, only 60. It means 440 companies have went bankruptcy or faded away somehow. So it means you can't really rely on the public sector as well. So, but the good thing is that the thing that we're doing, encouraging the innovation, we're going to probably see new, very inspiring new big corporations around that. So again, I thank you for participating in the session here. Tomorrow we are going to have the tour to Mectory as well, where you can have access to the laboratories and see what the students are doing there. And we are going to have the project meeting there as well in the Mectory building. And today now, as I mentioned, then the important deadlines or timelines or dates, timelines, pretty messed up. So you need to be there at the lunch at 1 o'clock, and at 2:30 the cabs will depart here from the hotel, and they have the signs speed up on them, and they are going to take you to Thema Center. And me and Maret will be there as well, expecting you already. So thanks, and have a nice lunch.
Restez.